Good morning YouTube. It's the weekend again, so obviously another weekly update. But before I start any of that, because we've got quite a lot to do this weekend, which I might do 2 videos to be honest, I'd like to say thank you to all the new subscribers. It does mean a lot to me, and at least people are enjoying the content and there's people wanting to watch, which is great. So without further ado, let's get cracking. Quite a lot to do. See you in a minute. Welcome back. Right. So today, I've got quite a bit on. Gregor, obviously, as you know, is going supercharged, and everything. I'll put Gregor's Instagram up there, by the way, because you'll see most of it on his Insta. Yeah, he's going supercharged, so everything that he ordered for the supercharger kind of turned up. So you know the ECU turned up, fair enough. But then this lovely M65 supercharger turned up. It's winter and there's a wasp. Anyway, yeah, so this lovely M65 supercharger turned up. So today I'm going to attempt to replicate this type of setup, which we know works. So similar affair to that, which is bolted down to the block there, and we've got this, which this is going to be a little bit different because on his, if you notice, I'm using the mini bypass. He's going to be using a standard blow-off valve instead. Now the blow-off valve is going to be at the front. I mean, he could use a mini bypass, which means we could take that off. We're remaking the same thing, but I'm not quite sure with that. It's like an electronic bypass when you can't use it, but it keeps everything sealed. Now, with my setup, we had a massive problem with boost leakage around here and obviously around the nose section, which before the end of it broke. Obviously, I was chasing all the time. Now, I know that obviously we keep this all into one, we're not going to have that problem. So we know that the front section of the mounts, we can replicate the similar sort of thing. The back, I'm going to have to get inventive with it really, to be fair. There is one mount at the bottom that is used on that car, on mine as well. It's like it's basically just a straight bar going down to a L-shaped plate that's bolted to the side of one of the 323 or would be 323 engine mounts. But that is the plan for today. With everything else, Gregor ordered quite a bit of stuff, so we've got quite a lot of toys. Move my turbo over. We have in here, if I can open it, it's like an unboxing, isn't it? We have a full pipe kit. It's just a generic aluminium one off eBay, I think it was. So it comes with your standard type of fair pipes. I mean, it's never going to be the best, but it's going to do the job for now anyway. We'll have to order. He'll have to order some more bits because we know we won't have enough corners. And he needs, I think he needs a reducer. I think, and also if we can get it from underneath the grate. He's got his intercooler and the side mount one, or side entry and side exit, so that's ready to go on. I keep telling him he should put these on in the meantime, and then obviously at least they're on. But I guess because you don't know where the supercharger is going to exactly be, you don't want to be mounting them, because you're only going to have to move pipe work and stuff. So today, that's the plan. Get this supercharger first mount replicated. Now my idea is, so I'm not going to take mine off. Instead, I'm going to use a spare cylinder head, which it uses the same. Now I know Gregor's has got another bolt hole here. I think yes, it is there. So if I make the hole ready, make it longer, so it's a double bolting instead, that might get away with the fact we don't need the back mounting. Might be a bit better. We shall see. So yeah, that's going to be soon going to JB because he's having that, I think, on his car. But we'll go from there. Okay, let's get cracking. Also forgot to add pulley system. See, I made a pulley system copy from the TDR racing kit, which is here, obviously. Now, we made 2. First one wasn't right anyway, but we used that as a template to make that one. So I thought, oh, we'll have to find out. I probably threw it away. No, I didn't. the templates here. So this will be very, very easy for me to re-replicate out of thicker steel. I'm probably going to box the sides off so it doesn't bend or anything like that. But that's the pulley system ready to go. So I reckon we could have most of this done today. So sit back, enjoy. Okay, so at the moment I've got the supercharger obviously on the bench, and I've got the spare cylinder head when this thing focuses. Notice how most YouTube channels always have problems with focusing cameras. Right, yeah, so we've got obviously the cylinder head ready to go. And I was kind of mocking it up on there, but it's kind of hard. It's easy with the engine in there, everything, because we can kind of work out where things are. I am going to put the exhaust manifold, that's the inlet manifold side. No, it's exhaust manifold on. I've got a spare, have it dangling down, so I can know where the where everything goes. I'll bolt it on, but we want it to be stronger because we might not have this brace at the back. We might only have the 3 points, and obviously they're going to be bolted there and bolted there. So I managed to find some trusty angle iron steel. Now it may look a bit pikey at the moment, but trust me, once it's done, it should look alright. You see, I need something strong, and also this back section will act as a guard as well, because what I find is stuff gets kind of caught here, so it kind of acts as a guard because it will go over there. Now then obviously it'll be like with steel tubes, which I believe I've got some spares, which will offset the supercharger off, and then obviously we're going to have some sort of bracket that comes down here and bolts on. Now I could use some of this again, but we shall see. We'll see how it goes. I've got some box section down there, which should do the job, which is more than capable really. I just want it to be stronger because it's different when it's on my car. I don't really mind, but he's asked me to make it for him and make it as cheap as possible as well. Not that I'm charging, it's just literally we're doing it on a budget. So yeah, make everything from the stuff we can find, and it's not going to be some cheap box section. It's going to and cheap rubbishy weld or anything like that. This thing will not move afterwards. I mean, mine's not moved in 3 years, so, and this is going to be a stronger version. But right, let's get to it. I need to cut there, get that ready to go on there. Obviously the holes will be done later. Make another bracket to go on here, which I know the second bolt hole is there because you can see the casting is exactly the same. So I'll make a bracket. The box section will probably go there, with like a socket hole. All the adjustment will be in this to move the supercharger forward and backward. So let's get on it. Okay, so we're just getting the venting ready. So it's got an angle iron piece of steel, and we are using some box section. Now I'm going to cut that and sort of bend it downward, so it welds onto this and is strong. And then there'll be 2 ovaled holes, or elongated holes there and there for the actual mount to slide forward. Now that will be fit and forget sort of thing. You put that in, bolt it as far forward to the inlet manifold, to the cylinder head as possible, like so, like that. Then with the other bit welded on there, there'll also be the elongated holes, which are then maybe to move the whole charger forward and backward. It's exactly a similar setup as what I'm running on that, except the mount on that, it's a bit of a Y-wing affair, so it's like that, but then it sprawls out, so it's kind of similar. I will probably brace this anyway, but I've been trying some test cuts and things, just testing the procedure, to sort of bend it down and then weld it. So once that's on, that is not going anywhere. Those 2 will be strong, and all the mounting structure, I'm going to put another piece on there to make that strong, because that's where obviously it's being bolted to. I'm not bolting all the way through because it'll have 2 large holes to get your socket in. Bolt that whole thing to the carve, and that to that, and then it's all on. So yeah, I'm just basically replicating what we already know works on this. As much as at the moment it looks like some officer cut piece of steel, once it's done it should look cool. Okay, let's get to it. First welds are in. She's getting there. Okay, it looks a bit Heath Robinson at the moment, but it won't do. Okay. Charge on the bench. Got the mount just placed below it for now. I've done an idea about putting like a motif down that either with a welder or using stamping it, like cut out. So anyway, that's by the by. So yeah, I've just marked up where the actual bolt alignments will go, so that the supercharger will be freely to move left and right, well, horizontally, and there'll be some movement on the 2 bolts that go there, like I said before. But we'll get in there. So I'm going to get these drilled, get it mounted to the supercharger. I'll find some spaces, I think, and some sort of bar, threaded bar or something. I'll find something. Ooh. Don't need just elongated the holes. I'm going to put the power file down to level them up a bit, but it's going to give him full adjustment. That's where the supercharger will just forwards and backwards. Same with that one. It's a bit tight at the moment, so I need to sort that out. But yeah, I'm going to now make it look a bit more pretty by chamfering the corners and stuff, but I'll probably wallow that one out a bit more. Needs it. And then we'll need to find some more threaded bar so we can start mounting the supercharger to that. And I might tease him with a picture on Instagram and see what we think. But I've welded a bracing piece on there as well, so that's never going to break. No way. I think it will rip out these first out of the casting. But yeah, let's get this sorted. So we're getting there. It's not finished yet. Got to clean up the welds. Got to box that off. Got to drill the 2 large holes for the forward backward motion movement, just in case he wants to move forward and backward on the block. But you kind of get the gist of it now. I am going to chamfer the back of it to make it look a bit more pretty. But from the front, that's going to be obviously, well, I think I might cut it out. He's got some cutouts or weld something on there to make it look a bit more awesome. But this should make his drift car go choo choo. I reckon he'll get out of mine. I think it was 10 psi was the maximum I got out of it, but it was only for a split second, I think. 8 psi would be good for him. But it's not being mucked about with, so we should be good to choo choo. So let's get cracking. Okay, the bench is getting a bit messy now. The spare cylinder head, or knackered cylinder head, don't think it is knackered. No, this one's alright. That's the reason why I cut the hole saw, so you can get a socket in there, and obviously there'll be another one somewhere around here. But I need his head to do that, because this is off a Mark 1, early Mark 1. Doesn't come with that second bolt hole. Only comes one lifting eye. So that looks like at the front. So then the belt will be down there somewhere. I'm just putting the inlet manifold on just to be testing, because we're going to have to put the bracing bar. Get the bracing bar ready. And the dog. Hello, Bailey Bob. What are you doing? Think I'm talking to you? No, I'm not. I'm talking to people on YouTube. Say hello, YouTube. No. You want snacks? You have to go ask Nanny. Right. Yeah. So that's the plan. We'll just bolt it up and see where it looks. Get the supercharger on. Take some pictures. Okay. Let's get in there. Obviously, this isn't finally done yet, because I'm going to trim that down, I think. Pardon me. Obviously, I've got sleeves that go in there. We're going to have sleeves that go in there. And when it compresses against it, it holds the supercharger better, because we found when doing it the other way, obviously it has a bolt on each side. You've got to, if you don't do it, you have to have a bolt there and a bolt on the inside. But in this case, you don't have to have that. And obviously they just turn down pieces of steel tubes, which I might have some more left, to be honest. Pretty sure we did, but it's getting there. It's certainly getting. I mean, it looks a bit Heath Robinson at the moment, but once that's on, that's going to be choo-chooing. I think he's going to have to put a direct 90 on there. The charger needs to come further forward, I believe, but we'll soon find out. I might have to trim that for the belt, depending on locations and stuff. But yeah, it's getting there, and that's not looking too bad. Obviously, it'll be much better once we've got the second mount hole in, but then the bottom bracing is going to have to be done. But I need the car for that. unfortunately, unless we take it off mine and just replicate it, and I've got enough steel bar to make that. But I'm chuffed with that. I think he's going to be chuffed with that, because it's going to look pretty damn cool once it's done. I mean, we've already once I've boxed all that off and cleaned it all up, I might make holes in it to sort of, because that does weigh quite a bit. Obviously that needs boxing off once we know whereabouts it's going to be, but I might close the end up and just make it a bit more fancy. But we are cooking on gas now, that is for sure. And yeah, like I say, it looks a bit Heath Robinson, but that will look brilliant once it's done and all painted up. It's certainly an improvement on my version, because mine's not easy to adjust. This one will be far easier to adjust. And yeah, it's going to look great now, this, eventually. I think it will be chuffed. Okay, keep going. Okay, so there's not much we can do on that until Gregor brings his car over, because I need to do for the second mounting plate hole, and I do need these spacers that when the bolts go through, you've got like a spacer, like a crush spacer, otherwise the supercharger's divots and it just doesn't work right. So obviously we need that. That's fine, because I've got plenty of other stuff to get on with. The next thing is the pulley. Now, as I said before, I have a template. Now, this was an old pulley, a test pulley that we used. Turned out it didn't work right anyway, but I still used that form for obviously my GT. So I'm going to use it again. This time on some bit thicker steel. Now, this is just going to be a right pain to cut into. I might have to get a plasma cutter out for it, but we'll try with angle grind and cutting it in lines, and then we'll just go from there, really. I mean, I did use this to weld my exhaust manifold for the turbo setup, but I don't need it again, so we can use this to make and that's not going to bend at all. Doesn't need anything welding on it. Literally, that steel is thick enough for the pulleys to be mounted straight to, and perfect, really, once that's done. But we'll get that done now. I'll mark it out and start making the cuts and see what we're at and go from there. Okay, enjoy. And that is the mounting bracket. See from the template. Now I just need to drill the holes, which will bright it on. That's for the one of the pulley wheels, and I believe that's the other one. I think, yeah, it must be. Yeah, it is. And that goes around the power steering. So, yeah, brilliant. I'll clean that up so you can't see that groove either. Make it look a bit better. And drill the holes, and that's near enough ready for test fit. So, I'm slightly tired now, but I'm covered in angle grinding burns and everything, and welding burns and marks and stuff. But we now have a pulley system, which should, you're not going to be able to see if I can get this light to come on. 1 second, there we go. Right, see this one, it kinda, well, it uses the same. Let's just get the autofocus, there we go. Similar thing, spun the other way around, of course. So we know that's done. It's an improved version. I now need his car so I can do the other hole which I was on about before. The back one we're not using. I'm hoping that the 2 will hold it as normal, and the bottom brace will hold it, so that's 3 instead of using 4 mounts. But we shall see. The other, like I say, it's a bit Heath Robinson, but let's put that over there. Heath Robinson, but that is not quite finished yet. I've got to cut it down slightly, but it's getting there, and obviously that will mount that way around. So it's getting there. It's cleaning up and making, but that is solid. That's. I need to obviously cap the things off, like I said before. So yeah, it's a bit Heath Robinson, but it will do the job, and it's solid. It's far more solid than mine. Mine's never failed anyway. Right, that's about it for today. I think I'll upload this anyway and get some sleep, go to bed. It's getting late. But enjoy, and tomorrow either it's brake pipes with Steve's NBFL, or continuing with this maybe. I don't know. I need to speak to Gregor and find out what he wants to do. There is a car meet tomorrow morning, so I might go to that, and then see what he wants to do, if he wants to get it fitted and or get it mounted and test it all and everything, because I need to make the bottom mount like I said before. But anyway, peace, and just like the video if you like the video and enjoy. Cheers.